switching, changing, deloading, whatever we want to call it, week is complete with mixed emotions and feelings. Let's have a chat about those. Goal of the week was a little bit tired, a little bit cooked, but certainly not over toasted. And the weights aren't that fucking crazy heavy that I'm killing myself, so really just wanted to change it up a little bit this week, scale back a few things where it was either dropping some exercises out or just dropping back some load, but also push a couple of things and have some fun so we can see where stuff is traveling, if it's going in the right direction, as well as I do enjoy, as I've talked about many times on this week, when what I do for the week isn't as important, is trialing some of the ideas and some of the things that I want to do on coming training blocks. I do enjoy the idea of rotating things in and out every 3 weeks, just for personal enjoyment would probably be the biggest reason. Plus, as well as just explore different things that don't work for my body. As we know, I do have a shitty shoulder and a crappy knee. The knee, if I was to be very honest, is probably the most problematic at the moment, and I did notice that on the squatties. The shoulder, however, is being very nice. We're treating it, we're looking after it, we're rehabbing it with the exercises, and it's responding incredibly well for all those things. Unfortunately, also doing the same things for the knee, and the knee ain't liking it one little bit, so we need to regress on some things, I think, and just throw some more general strength at it, a little bit more hypertrophy, try and build some more muscles around that supporting structure. So that probably means, unfortunately, less of the more exciting stuff and more of the, what we could call it, more boring exercises. Like today I was doing some lunge walks and I was only doing body weight and they sucked and I suffered. But it's going to be good. We're going to move the body through some different ranges of movement, some different planes, and I'm that far out from wanting to actually squat anything heavy, so it doesn't really matter. It's my ego that wants more weight on the bar than what I need. So Coach Johnny will change things up for Athlete Johnny on the squat day in that regards. Coming up into the next training block, we need to consider what's going to be next. My conventional is nice. You'll see a video, a very good one that I'm very happy with. So we do have a loose training goal of pushing past my previous best of 2.5 kilos, which I think is very realistic to be able to do over the next maybe 2 training blocks. So that being said, the conventional will stay heavy, will still stay as a main exercise, and the sumo is going to still continue to come in as a skill movement. Not too sure how I'll muck around with that. Some pauses have always done well for me. Using a power bar has also always done well for me. Pausing with a power bar has done very well for me. We'll start thinking about what that looks like. It probably looks like a power bar, to be honest, and keep pushing that along and just trying to be more technical with the sumo, essentially. So when it is time to express that strength that I've got there, because I know if my conventional's up, everything will come with it. And if my knee's better, because that also fucking sucks on sumo as well. Conventional is quite nice. It doesn't mind being in that position, but out wide, it's fucking horrible. So again, we get to prioritize looking after that as well. And then some of the things I've been thinking about, I don't feel like I'm generally sucking at squatting at the moment. I'm not doing enough. I need to do more of the thing that I want to be good at. That's the simplest thing. I remember hearing a quote from Shaco, and he said, the one that wants to bench more must bench more. So if I want to squat more, I need to squat more. Bringing in what I was considering and have been doing with the deadlift day of adding that second pull on the squat day, I'm literally going to do the same thing, and what a light bulb moment. I was like, fuck, you should just be squatting on your deadlift day, which is not uncommon practice at all. Just probably hasn't been there for a while because I'm typically a bit cooked and or rushed for time on a training session. So I just need to make that work. I doubt I've got more minutes for it, so I need to train faster and just muck around with the variations of squat. So I got a little bit. At the moment, I'm just trying to move some weights on the safety bar as quick as I possibly can, which you'll see I'll have a little chatty through on those. I think we've got some vids, which would be cool. And that's it. It's a training week. We're going to run another 3 weeks. I'm looking forward to the 3 weeks. If I could probably land a deadlift with a 270, it'd be kind of cool. But we'll see if it's there. See what happened this week. Got some vids. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Boom.
weird. Never thought I would say that. Who would have thought progress is rewarding, and I am progressing, and my reward is enjoyment, so I am enjoying the present. 110 plus a light band on there, who knows what's at the top, but I am stoked. Pressed out 5 of these, no shoulder pain, relatively stable and nice, but I'm doing that in the right direction. Super duper happy. The back downs on the minute, pretty much every minute, 5 reps at 100 plus bands. To be honest, I'm really enjoying the style of training here. It's been great for work capacity and just general fitness, just pushing the pace of a training session. I'm getting through my top sets in pretty much 10 minutes, and I'm getting one heavier one in 6 sets in 10 minutes. That's fucking excellent for a decent weight too. To be honest, on the 100, we did fall apart in the last set, and we did need a second lesson, I should say. We did need a big spotter, Mr. Average Jack, to come in and save my bacon, which was super nice. That is a lesson for everyone there. You got face savers, definitely use them if you are doing banded bench, because that band wants to pull down. Doesn't matter. When you are cooked, it stays down there. Well, thanks, Jack. There we go. And should use face savers, of course, as well. But that being said, super stoked. I'm enjoying this style of benching. Moving into the next training block, I think we'll keep up this repeated effort, and I just need to maybe consider getting a little bit more weight in there. The plank, pull through. Coach does his core too. Most important for me, I enjoy variability in the core, getting different challenges from different directions, which I think is very important, because when you think that we just are pretty much a straight up and down here when we lift weights. So just throwing a little dumbbell in there to move it around. My core is cooking very nicely with this exercise. I do find with this, it's less about the weight required to move and more about just the movement itself is what gets my core firing quite nicely. You can see I've got my safety thongs on there at the back. I like to do core every single training session. I like to coach it to be done every single training session. And I know like people like to skip it, but coach does not skip. Daddies. Here we go. This is the shifting, aka potentially deload week. Loose plan is here. The barbell tells the story for me. I am not too concerned on what I lift. However, I like to come into these sessions, particularly at the moment, to say if it is there and I'm feeling good, we'll move something. That's a 3-wheeler. It moved very nice. My position, I'm getting happier and happier about it every week. I think the treatment on the shoulders, the ability to be able to set my shoulders in the right position is a huge effect on this. And let's just, 4 reds popping like nothing. It was a no-brainer to throw a blue one on there, wasn't it? So 260, this is 10 more than previous week. It is shifting week. It is easier week, so I do need to be mindful if I do this one, the rest of the session needs to be not so silly, so to speak. But watch the setup on here. I am happy. I am still pushing forward a little bit. That is a strength discrepancy, I would say, with the hamburgies. Doesn't matter how much I want to push into the right position. My body favors going forward a little bit. When the muscles favor strength, when a little bit stronger there, that's what it's going to want to do. So we need to continue to work on bringing up those hamburgers so the RDL will stay. Looking forward to the next training block this session. I hit a hundo. Don't have any vids. That's not too exciting watching those, but we got them done, which was good. Back down work, so we continue to keep some fitness in here. 220, hitting a single. After 260, to be honest, I was a little tired and toasted, and I even pulled up freaking pretty sore through the upper back, which is good, but I didn't feel fatigued and wrecked, so I know I nailed it for the session. Hitting the right amount of weight and load. Here we go, watch this thing pop up. Bang, thank you. And then we sit in there and knock out one more of those 220s. There we go, watch it go. Happy, getting a little tired now, but that's okay. Next up, fastest, heaviest. I don't know what you call it, but I call it fastest, heaviest. The way I like to program it is just that. My goal of this exercise is to find the heaviest weight I can move the fastest I possibly can. I like to use potentially up to 10 sets to get there, so you'll see me doing it, throwing a plate on each time and just turning over a single and a single and a single. I like to get competitive with this as the weight comes up. My goal is literally to continue the bar speed. I think of it like if I had a velocimeter, whatever
whatever it's called, something there telling me how fast the velocity of the barbell was, that I would measure it and I would continue to be able to maintain that same speed. I like this because it teaches me to move weight quickly. So I like to call it fastest heaviest. I haven't done this style of squatting and training before for a long time, so I think it'll be a great new stimulus. And throwing the squats in, like I talked at the start of it, I do want to do squats, but I am very aware I have no fucking time to be adding too much more to my session. So fastest heaviest literally takes 10 minutes to bust out some SSB. Ooh, 165. I will not use the H word, but I will say the climate was pretty climatic. That moved, this is the first time I've watched the video. It moved fucking really good on video. In the moment, I nearly blacked out. It was an incredibly warm, humid day here. One lesson for me from this session is moving through on the Saturday and even the Daddy Day. I need to be considerate of the environment and not as married to the numbers. If it is a little extra warmer than most, and I've worked in that thing all day, then I need to maybe consider that my potential might not be as what I've written down to do for that day. So just being flexible with the numbers. I will say, before anyone reaches it, did you drink enough water? Did you have enough salt? Did you have enough carbohydrates? Yes. I'm not a sausage. I knew it was going to be hot. I drank way more water and ate way more food than what I do. I had plenty during the session as well, and even more when I got home, so I don't end up fucking cooked on Sunday because of this session. Considering and thinking about what we're going to do with the squat moving forward, we do need to potentially maybe be a little bit more of an adult and regress back from hitting singles, whether it's a pause single or a heavier triple. There's not as much value there, I think, right now, as just bashing out some reps. I will say that my poor old knee doesn't love doing lots of reps, so I think potentially lots might have to be somewhere between 5 to 6 and not doing too many more than that. I do need to be technical in that. I do find if I get a tired and a bit sloppy on the squat, that's when I'll shift and move around, not be as stable, and then the knees get scrumpy. So next little bit, we're going to tread that fine line of trying to hit some 5s and 6s. That's 125, not too much. That might be the starting point. We'll take the weight up from there and see what we can do. The goblet, and this is what we're talking about. I need to start adding a lot more variation into my lifts. Taking out that heavier top one or the heavier 3s will mean less warming up time. Having the lighter 5s will mean less rest and recovery time in my session to allow to give me more variability and more time to do more different exercises. So, mucking around with the heel up goblet. I was curious to see how this would feel. I know it's going to load my quaddies up a fair amount, and if my knee would be happy with it. It turns out it liked it. Quads felt like they were working, glutes felt like they were working. It's only 20 kilos, but I'm pushing reps with working over fast. A little tool I like to use for the accessories for me, which can work for everybody, is potentially don't load it up as heavy. I know I said don't load it up as heavy as you could. Take it back a little bit so you don't get as fucking cooked, so you can turn over your rest time. Reverse hypie, I've never really given this a big red hot crack for too long, so I think I will take advantage of being able to play around with a new exercise for my body. I love the idea of getting more glutes, more hams, more back work in. This is an exercise that's fast and easy to turn over. Loading wise, I got no idea what to put on here. There was 220s on here, so I swung with that. It seemed to work nice. My glutes were buggered. Here is my lunge walk that I talked about. Again, more variability, more movements for the body. Historically, I've got a bung up ankle sort of foot thing that I hurt doing ollie lifting a long time ago. So I can report my foot was super sore after this. That was great. But we're just going to keep persevering with lunge variations and movement variations to get different stimulus for the muscles. It would be nice to load this thing up a little bit, and I do feel it did stretch me up quite nicely after the training session as well. By now we've done some squats, we've done some high Ps, we've done some goblet squats as well, so poor old legs are getting tired. But that being said, we do need to get a little bit more on there, and it would be nice to get a little bit more, let's call it mobile in position. You can see that side sucks, that side's good, this side sucks, but that is my shitty back foot. So that'll be something we'll just have a look at and see what else we can do with it. Check out the accessory of the week. Can't remember what to call these. Let's call it rotor Y. Maybe something like that. This is nice. Working on shoulder retraction, pulling those things back, moving in different directions. I can report, due to all of the hard work with all the banded stuff I've been doing and everything's starting to fire and strengthen and feel good in those supporting shoulder muscles, doing exercises like this that I had previously done that wouldn't work quite as well are starting to fire and work. I am starting to feel the right muscle working. I'm not just shrugging the fuck out of it with my upper traps. Little Coach Kendra there just inspecting, let's just say, the shoulder retraction to make sure they're doing what I want. She is goal orientated and she has told me she wants to see me bench a big fucking PV. That is my motivation for these exercises. I do like to say you either got to love the exercise you're doing or love the reason for it. So if you don't love doing it, but you will love the reason. For me, yep, this is fucking boring. It's 2 kilos. I'm rolling it up. I'm pushing my weights away. But I know doing all these little things are going to set me up for later in the year for a big PB. So then now all of a sudden I love this exercise. Something to consider for your own training crew. Thanks for watching. See you all next week.